Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about transport pivot point. All right. And before we move forward, I want to talk to you about what's the 3D cursor. And because we're going to be using it in this tutorial, even though it's not about it, but we're going to use it. This is the 3D cursor right there. That little thing you see that I clicked and immediately just put that icon thing. You see, if you press shift and right click, it's adding it whatever. This is like a helper. It's going to help you doing things. Okay. Even to, you can rotate from that point or scale from that point, or do a bunch of stuff with that. Okay. And even to add a new object right from there. If I put it right here, I'm going to add a cube and it's going to be right there in the 3D cursor. So the 3D cursor is going to be your Blender helper somehow. So yep, we're gonna talk about it. I mean, we're gonna show it today in the video you're gonna watch in a few seconds. So there, if you press shift and right click, it's gonna add it to your scene, into objects or the grid or whatever, floating around, anything. All right, enjoy. This is how we do it in Blender, and this is how you will do it. And I'm gonna show you too. It's not. I wasn't planning to do it this class, but I mean this video, but I guess why not? All right, I need to change the way I access the edit mode. I'm used to Control Tab instead of just Tab. So let me. All right. Anyways, so the pivot point. So if you're gonna be here, it says bounding box center, 3D cursor, individual origins, medium point, active element. So let's talk about 3D cursor first. All right. So if you know anything about 3D, even though if you don't know, I'm just going to explain what the pivot point is gonna help you with. All right. The pivot point is basically the center, not the center of the object, but it's where the object is going to be manipulated from. Like if you're going to scale this object, it's going to be scaled from that point. And if I move, you see why I don't like the Control Tab thing. If I move, let's say I wanted a pivot point right there, right? And I'm gonna go here to Object and set origin to 3D cursor, right? You can actually, let's add that to the favorites. Just something new that you're gonna learn right now. Set origin to 3D cursor, and we're gonna right click and add to quick favorites. And now if you press Q, it's gonna be right there. It's faster for you to access. So favorites is gonna be your best friend, all right? So anyways, I moved the pivot point from the center of the object to that vertex right there. If now I scale, it's gonna scale right from that point. All right, if I rotate, it's gonna rotate from that point. You see that? So it's super useful to know these kind of things, right? But what if, I'm gonna go to the top here, I'm gonna duplicate this a few times. There you go. What if you have all of those and you only wanna rotate from that point, but if you rotate right now, it's basically rotating almost, I think from the center, like, yeah, medium point. You see the icon? It's the medium point. So the medium point of that selection is basically is doing that rotation right there. So we don't want that. So we can change it to 3D cursor. And now if we rotate, it's using the 3D cursor to make the rotation from that point. It's ignoring all of those pivot points and it's concentrating on the 3D cursor. All right. So that's a way for, that's a way of using it. The scale is going to be the same thing, And I'm going to put another problem right now. What if I want to rotate each one of those objects individually? If you do it right now, it's not going to work. Even if you go here, medium point, it's also not going to work. But if you select individual origins, there we go. It's going to rotate from the pivot point of those objects individually. So that's a way for you to select that, to do that kind of action And the other way to access this little menu right here, it will be from the dot in the keyword. Like right now, we have selected individual origins. We saw 3D cursor. And now we saw medium point. And now let's go to active element. So I'm gonna select all of those. And the one that you see that is color different, like orange thing, that's gonna be the active object. Those are selected, but this one is the active one. So it's gonna rotate from that one. If I select this one, it's gonna rotate from that one right there. Or this one over here, and the same thing. So that's a way for you to, to use the pivot point of the different transformation pivot point things that you can do. It's a lot of stuff. Sorry for my wording. I'm just talking how I know how I do things. But yes, I most of the time I use the 3D cursor a lot. I move it around and I try to just access it real quick, and I'm gonna rotate from there. I'm gonna take it over here. But individual origins is also super useful, and it's I'm pretty sure the more you work with Blender, you're gonna find that it's super useful to know this kind of the little things that it helps you to just move around in Blender and do cool things. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.